The singer-songwriter has sold more than 35 million albums. But Chesney says he is still the same boy he always was from rural Tennessee. He writes about it in his new memoir. It's called Heart, Life, Music. In it, Chesney explores the quest to find himself as an artist, from local bars to selling out stadiums. Kenny Chesney joins us now. It's so great to have you here.
Thank you guys for having me.
I've listened to so much of your music for so many years. It really is. I get kind of tingles talking to you here. So I'm going to try to gather myself.
Okay.
It's all right. You can fan out, Tony.
I mean, like, that's
hard not to drool.
All your stuff coming up in the late 90s and early 2000s, playing college baseball. You're on so many batting practice CDs. Like,
that is
crazy.
Unbelievable. That's good to know. Somebody heard it.
It made it. Okay, so you open the memoir. You're a little boy. You're laying in the backyard on the hill. You're looking up at the stars, and that's you dreaming, right? And that's where it begins. But then you get that microphone and guitar for Christmas, age 3.
Yeah.
Take us to that moment.
Well, look, I lived with my grandmother, me and my mom, for 2 or 3 years, and I didn't know what it meant, but I was lying. I would always go lie in the grass out in her backyard, and we lived so far out of Knoxville that there was no light pollution, and when it was clear, you could see forever. And that was the first time in my life that I was wondering what was past the roads that I always went down. I knew the road to church, I knew the road to school, and I knew the road to the ballpark.
Yep.
That's it. And I was just always really curious. And when music came into my life, look, I wanted to be like you guys. I wanted to be an athlete, right? But
you guys.
I was this, but I was this size when I was 15 years old. I went, okay.
Solid height at 15.
And then my junior year in high school, I was still this size. So I knew my senior year I wasn't going to have music in my life, but it was as if God had a completely different plan. And like we were talking about earlier, there's things that happen in your life, like me getting that guitar when I was for Christmas as a kid, that seemed so insignificant and irrelevant at the time. But you get to a place in your life and you look at all these things that happened, it was like the
stars were aligning.
Without you even knowing it.
Right.
It was like God tapping you on the shoulder going, okay, you can do this. You think you're going to play second base for the Red Sox. You think you're going to do this, but no, we have.
It's not coincidence. You know, I've always heard that coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous.
Oh, that's really great.
So it was planned. Go ahead, Gayle.
It was really planned. But what I like about the book is that you take us on your journey. You take us behind the scenes. At one point in his career, guys, he was told, "You've done less with talent. You've done more with less talent than anyone I've ever seen." Someone said that to your face.
A real journalist said that.
Yeah, a real journalist said that to your face. But fortunately, and where is that person today?
Yeah.
But I love during the book when you go through the journey. You said at one point, this music meant so much to you that you wrote in your words a contract with your soul. What was your? I know, don't you love that, Nate? Page 157. I love it.
Yeah.
What was your contract with your soul?
Was to give all of me. I didn't want this to not happen because I was lazy, and that I didn't want to do the work. I think that a lot of times when people talk negative about you, or they don't understand your dream or journey, it's easy for them to talk negative about you because they don't want to look in the mirror and realize that they weren't willing to do the work.
But Kenny, you write that...
I didn't want to be that person.
But you have the contract with your soul, but then in 2009, I think Indianapolis, you said the tour ended. You were exhausted mentally, spiritually, physically. You were empty. You felt numb. You thought, I don't know if I can do this. What had happened and how'd you get out of that?
Well, how I got out of it was, I mean, I was really tired. And that's when you're that numb and exhausted, that's not the best place and the best headspace to create and to make music. And connection isn't built in that space at all. What got me out of it, ironically enough, is I made a film for ESPN called Boys of Fall.
Oh, yeah. I love that song.
And all of a sudden, I was in the living rooms of John Madden and Nick Saban and Bobby Bowden and Bill Parcells. And I was talking to them, yes, about football, but it was about more life lessons. And it was the inspiration that I needed to reignite my creativity. And I swear, after that, I felt back. I still feel great. But it took football and sports to get me out of that.
Well, there's so many parallels between sports and music. But you write about those younger days, going to those dive bars, grinding it out, being hungry, both in your work ethic, but also literally being hungry. For people who want to be successful, what would you say to them? Because I'm not sure they understand that chasing success is going to come with being exhausted and broke and hungry.
That's right.
And hurt.
Well, I get asked.
And rejected.
And rejected. a lot of people ask me for advice now, but they ask it when they ask me, how do you make it? There's that voice inside of my head that's thinking, and I don't tell them this, but there's a voice inside of my head going, this person's never going to make it. Oh. Because you don't do it to make it. You do it like what you were talking about. You do it because it's what you do.
Yeah.
And that was the way it was for us.
Yeah.
You know, if I wasn't sitting here talking to you guys, I'd be playing somewhere tonight in the city, probably.
And thinking about the fans, thinking about the audience. I love the part in the book where you talk about going to a stadium and sitting in the top back row to get the perspective of the fan that bought the worst ticket.
That's a way for me to mentally measure. Emotionally, mentally, because I know what it looks like from my perspective up to the top row. But our schedule is usually, we play a Thursday night in an amphitheater. We go to, let's just say we come to New York and play MetLife like we've done. We get there on a Friday night. We do sound check, and we play Saturday. Well, after sound check, I'll take a golf cart up to the very top, and it's a moment for me that I give myself to feel grateful, and have gratitude, and be thankful for where we all are. And to measure, to emotionally measure.
Thank you for being here today. All very relatable, except for the golf cart part. You can't take the stairs, man. Have a little jog up there. You can do that.
Maybe.
Kenny Chesney,
that's a good point.
Great to meet you. Great to have you here. Heart Life Music is available right now. We'll be right back.
Workout book.
Good.